Oh, okay. All right, good evening to everybody who's online and welcome to our summer training session number 3. And we've got Jim Torpey and Michael Mellifont at the front of the room and they'll take us through the material. All yours, gents.
Hello, everyone. Everyone in front of me, everyone online, welcome to 2026. And I hope everyone had a happy new year and a great Christmas. I just want to thank everyone who sent me a Christmas present before I go to Michael. So it's over to you now, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Welcome everybody who's come in person tonight and who's joining us online. Obviously, from the title, Earth, Wind and Water, we're talking about the elements today and about how they come into play for our games and what we as match managers need to do on a very broad level.
Breaking news. Yeah, we got breaking news. Who can make the noise? Actually, tonight's presentation and it's been changed, and the reason being because as Michael and I were preparing for what were we doing?
Preparing for Earth, Wind and
Water.
Yeah.
All right. And it wasn't until we started going through some articles that we decided to change it, purely because of the safety of our umpires and players are paramount, right? And hence the reason why we changed it tonight. It is now lightning, thunder, and sun. All right. You beat me to the page. That's what I didn't get to see. Why? Because the elements that they're the elements that end of life will change your career, right? Because of you don't a lot of times you don't get a second chance with lightning, and sun can do a lot of damage, as we'll see throughout later on in the presentation. Umpire's duty of care. Why are we here? Why do we do what we do? Right, Naveen, you'll be good at this, wouldn't you? What do you reckon? Have we got to take that open in a bit? Do I do it?
First thing is mostly for the love for the game, and obviously enjoying what you do. That's critical as well. So that's two things which, if I had to pick two things, those are the two things I would pick.
I didn't hear the first one.
Love of the game and enjoying what I do as well. So
yeah, let's just look back at the head before you take away. Right. Umpire's duty of care. The question is, why are we here? What do we do? What we do in regard to the duty of care? Because we all have a love for the game, and we all have a passion for it, and we enjoy. We should enjoy cricket, all right? We should enjoy the game. The thing I love about cricket is the camaraderie. Like when I gave away playing, the thing I missed was, what do I do on a Saturday, and things like that. So when I took up umpiring, I got new teammates, and hence the reason why I'm still involved in the game, because it's good to get out and talk to people. So why are we here? What do we do? What we do, Matthew? When it comes to duty of care, we have a professional and moral obligation to take all reasonable steps to ensure the safety of the players, the spectators, and ourselves. Yeah. That's the players, the spectators, and ourselves. Right. If you're not managing the safety, you're not umpiring. This is the bit I like. If you're not umpiring, you're just a spectator with a counter. Do you want to be a spectator with a counter? Or do you want to actually take control and make sure everything is safe? Safety starts with you. Now, when I say safety starts with you, all right, who is responsible for safety anyway? Everyone, yeah, all right, because it's not just on you, all right, but everyone is responsible for safety, because there's no use if we see electrical cord sparking over there and we don't do it because Matthew's here, right? Are we doing the right thing? No, it's no different. Even though the safety starts with you, You're the manager of it, all right? You've got to make sure that we're looking after it. From management to action, okay? We are managers, not just decision makers, because the way I explain it, and it's no different when I was a conduct commissioner, I used to talk to the players that got peeved off, is that the minute our umpires get there, right, just imagine, and the cricket field is a warehouse. The two umpires are the managers. Everyone else that steps onto that field are staff, right? You're the managers. They're the staff. They have to follow instructions from the managers, i.e. the umpires. The umpires, managers, have to ensure that the procedures are followed. They don't bend over to the players if the process and the regulations are going to be broken, right? Umpires now, as managers, have to stay in control of it the whole time, right? Now, we are managers, not just decision makers, right? If you want to be a decision maker, just go being a person, spectator with a counter, all right? We can't control the weather, can we? There's two things in life you can't control, Mother Nature and Father Time. They're always going to win, always going to win. But we can control the response. And what is the response for lightning and thunder? All right. What is the response? Before we go to the next slide, Matthew, what is the response? I'm not going to go to you, not going to you. So, we're going to go to you. All right.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Matthew.
Yes. Yep. So we've got the 40-30 rule.
Ah, good. Let's stop there. Well done. Oh, well, how good is that? Let's move on to the next slide. Hey, woo!
Welcome.
Lightning and thunder. What do we got there? The 40-30 rule. All right. We've got the 40-30 rule. Does everyone know what that actually means? Has everyone read the regulation and can actually quote it to me? If I was to give a piece of paper to everyone online now, all right, and here, would they be able to give me the answer? And I know that even by some of the looks, the answer will be not really sure, all right? And there's no harm in that, all right? This is what tonight's about. We're here to help and coach and mentor to make sure we get these things right. Now, suspension on play in dangerous or unreasonable conditions, please note, all right, what we're going to be talking about, the 40-30 regulation is for Queensland Premier Cricket. So check your association's regulation, because I know there's some associations here in Brisbane that go by 30-30. So just make sure you check, you know, what your association's regulation is and understand that. All right. You can take it.
Yep. So there's a relationship between the time between a lightning strike and the thunder, and that's to do with proximity of the storm. So the closer the storm is, the quicker the amount of time lapses between strike and bang. Okay, so if it's spread apart by over 40 seconds, it's still pretty far away. Once it gets to that 40-second time lapse between strike and bang, that means the storm is close enough or coming closer to us, possibly, that we need to suspend play and get people off the field.
If I can just, the thing, the more I went into this, I didn't realise that 40-30 is just not a cricket term. It is a weather term. And if you got that, you got the bang and the flash within 40 and 30, guess what? The lightning, it's in 13 kilometres of you.
Yep.
You know, it's pretty close.
Yep.
It's pretty close.
And moving generally.
Yeah. And it's usually coming at a fast rate. And you know what? It can start here, but it finishes up over there. All right. So, and this is why suspend play immediately. Do not fiddle fart around. All right. Get off and go. All right.
Does the state of the game matter? We'll talk more about that in a second. But yeah, I'm not taking that. Okay. So bang, flash, and then bang within 40 seconds. Between 30 and 40 seconds, we are heading off the field. and there can be preparations done or made to ensure that we can mitigate damage to the wicket. Okay, so that basically means if it's between 30 and 40 seconds, teams might have a chance to quickly put the covers on. Okay, and then immediately leave the field and be under shelter. And we can direct them to do that. And we must direct them to do that. If they go and take a footy out and start having a kick on the oval, we can and must direct them to come back in. And I don't care if they're adults. And if they don't do it, you report them.
The other thing is that it's 40-30. I've had umpires, I've had people say to me, oh, I had 42 seconds, so we stayed out. No. You're the keeper of the watch, right? You're the keeper of the timer. Don't stay out there. I'd rather have everyone come off 1 over too early than 1 over too late. No different with lights at daylight at the end of the day. Come off an over too early and an over too late, right?
I'm looking at my watch and I count 42 seconds. I'm saying, you know what, guys, that's 40 seconds. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Get the safety.
Just one point about that. Been an issue at Valleys where that happened, and we had non-players going back out onto the field, and we can't tell them to get off, can we?
No.
We'll come to that. Yeah. Good question.
We do cover that later. So
Yeah.
raising that because
you know, like we can tell players to get off, but we can't tell. That's crazy.
So the 30 part of that, so the 40, we know what the 40 means. The 30 part is the length of suspension. So a minimum of 30 minutes. And if we continue getting strike bangs within that 30 minutes restarts. And it's from the last time that we get a strike bang within 40 seconds. So it could well be that the sun is out, rain has stopped, covers are still on. Oh, can we go out and take the covers off yet? Not until that 30 minutes is up. And the reason why is, as we'll get to a bit later, we talk about when the most occurring lightning events happen to people. That'll get covered soon.
I was surprised when I read it, in actual fact.
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to have 2 scenarios. Scenario 1, right? So you all can read, because you don't want me reading it out to you, right? I don't want your answer yet. I didn't ask for your answer. All right, everyone got that one? Everyone got that online? You've written it down, and everyone here, I can see you've written it all down on your piece of paper that you're all come prepared with. All right. Situation number 2, please, Matthew. All right, you all can read again, please. All righty, we all got your answer for that one? All right, let's go to the answer first. Next slide. Thank you, Matthew. All right. The answer to the first one was you go off. It doesn't matter if the batting side needs only 1 run to win, right? It says immediately. It doesn't say immediately after they score another 5 runs. It doesn't say immediately for anything like that. Now, at the moment, we got wide, but I just want to sit here for a second because prior to Christmas, we had a lot of storms, okay? and I'm sure we're having storms right out up and down the eastern seaboard at the moment. I've had umpires say that we stayed out there because the batting side only needed 8 runs. Right? Is that fair? For the other teams that have been taken off, is it fair to the bowling side who were bowling and had to stay out there so the other team could score the 8 runs and win? That's taken points away from the fielding side. That's taken points. That's given a team an unfair advantage in that. Is that fair? So why should we? Oh, it's what the captains want. You know, it's only 8 runs. They could have done that.
It's a T20 match. There's only 2 balls left in the innings. They need 7 off 2. Either of us can win. We both want to stay out there. 2 more balls. We'll be quick.
I know that I haven't got this. Everyone was watching this. Everyone see a WBBL game a few weeks ago where it got called off with 3 runs to go. And I've spoken to Stevie Dionysus, who's one of the umpires, and Stevie D actually said, no one knows, all right, but they had 8 hours of rain prior. They did everything possible to get the game on. They followed all the correct procedures, right? They did everything, and when they come off, it was heavier the over before, and Stevie D admits that in hindsight, what they should have done is come off the over before when it was heavier. And this is exactly what we're saying to you. Who cares if they need 3 runs? Who cares if they need 1 wicket? Just go off, please. You got a question?
Once you finish that part there, because I want to go back to the scenario.
Which one?
So question number 1. So question number 1 is talking about there was 20 seconds between the actual flash of lightning and the thunder. Now, I was thinking that they should have actually been off the field before that point. So it shouldn't have been a decision at that point.
It
However,
can actually happen.
But it can actually happen that way. So
it can happen that way.
One of the things that's really important to do is to actually have a look at the clouds as they are building up, because you actually get the cumulus build and it'll start to flash at that point there. So looking at the cloud build up.
So often in Queensland, it forms in the west or southwest is when most storms sort of form, or north on that west. So standing on the eastern side is a really good strategy. If you're have 2 umpires and you have 1 strikers and standing there looking at that's where the lightning will be.
Just on that, all right, and because a lot of umpires, because I experienced this probably around October, I think, went out and watching a sub-districts umpire. Now, sub-districts only have 1 umpire. I still call square leg is still an umpire. All right. No one usually. I don't know of any games that really go out there and don't have anyone at square leg. All right. Now, in this particular game, every time he walked away, in the background was the lightning. Right, but he's walking away.
So he's missing it.
In those scenarios, when if you're up this end and you're looking down and you've got that sky in the background, right? There's a good chance. So what you get to immediately, you got an opportunity. You go to the square leg player / batsman, umpire, whatever, all right, and say to him, "You're an umpire. I need you to keep an eye on for lightning as well, please, and listen for thunder." Right? We work as a team, right? Because in this particular case, I got to the stage where I got the fielding, the batting skipper, and we started to freak out because there was that much lightning.
Yeah.
Right. To me, safety comes first. I don't really care about the state of the game or anything like that. I just,
yeah. But I did have a case recently this season where the strike bang was over a minute, and then all of a sudden it's like 26 seconds. It was the weekend that the storm was moving so far across. It was dragging hail from, you can get, that's our climate.
I think we've got a hand up there, Matthew, haven't we?
So Elliot can come off mute. Elliot, ask your question.
The same rule applies in golf. So one of the things we have to do if we see lightning within 15 kilometres, you must get everybody off the golf course. So it doesn't matter if you've got a 2-foot putt for course record. It means you must vacate the golf course immediately. So same rules apply there.
And throw your golf club away.
Some of it's not a one-eye, you find.
Yeah, I've heard that one. Lee Trefino. We won't tell that story. But,
Another time.
So any more questions for scenario 1 before we go to
Scenario 2.
Yeah, let's go to scenario 2. Thank you, Matthew. Right. You stay off. All right. It doesn't matter because in this particular case, the two captains have come together and said to you, the sun is shining and it's only 20 minutes. We're happy to go out and play. All right. You stay off. It doesn't matter if the sun is shining or not. You stay off for the allotted 30 minutes. No ifs, no buts.
And we will see why soon.
Yeah. Right. Everyone understand that? Right. We are umpires. We're not play pleasers. Right. I don't care at the end of the day about, and I say this 1,000 times. I don't care about the state of the game. All I care about is following the regulations, and guess what? Safety. All right. Everyone's safety is the most important thing in what we as umpires, the top 3 things we should always look at when we go out is number 1 is risk, number 2 is risk, and number 3 is risk. And we've covered all those and we're happy with the 3. Guess what? Off we go.
Have they got this bomb up to date yet so that it's something you can sort of go by if you've got something approaching?
Johnny, you're a little bit younger than me. For 66 years of my life, I go by what I see.
Myself too, but you know, if I've seen something coming, I've asked the scorers to check the bomb for us as well, and so we've got a heads up on what's coming. But this stuff with the bomb is.
What are we going to do about it?
But they're supposed to have it upgraded. Have they done that?
No idea.
Take that up with your local minister, John.
Yeah, I'll give you an example, John.
What you see and what you hear.
Yeah.
That's your guide.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll give you an example because in addition to the cricket stuff, I'm also very big into sailing and I'm a national race officer. I was running the NACRA Nationals up in Early Beach and I saw it takes an hour to get the boats off the water. And I saw a cumulus building over the top of the point, Chute Harbour. And it doesn't usually come in from that direction. But if the problem is that the boats have to go in that direction, right? So I made the call. I said, all boats back to the shore. Just like I said, it takes an hour or so, test and do. We were talking to the race box, nothing at all on the bomb. Nothing, not a cloud on the bomb, right? It was only once they got back there, half an hour later, that all of a sudden this epic thing popped up on the bomb. The bomb is late. It's too late. So you need to make the call based on what you see, what you're experiencing.
before we go to the next slide, all right, what we've been trying to say is safety comes first. We'd rather you come off and over too early than an over too late. Okay, let's see why. The top slide, it says, 2 Andra used die of lightning while playing cricket. Right? 2. Right? 21st of April 2025. Less than 12 months ago, 2 years died. There's 2 young kids that aren't going home to their mum and dad, to their brother and sister, right? Their teammates have to pick up their kit bags, right? Not good. Now, 6th of November 2024, it's not that long ago either, all right? Not cricket. However, football player in Peru dies after lightning strikes the field. It didn't hit the player, it hit the field and then generated out to him. Who wants to be the person that has to bring up their parent or whatever, okay? The third one, which is, I think in 23, I can't see that.
23, June 23.
June 23, okay? Lightning strikes youth to death while playing cricket in that town. So on that, that's just, as I was going through looking for, this is why I spoke to Michael and said, you know what, I don't want to do ground weather and light, earth, wind and water. I want to get this out because guess what? I want every one of you umpiring online or here and every player that players in your game to be able to go home at night and talk to their partner, husband, girlfriend, wife, all right, mum and dad, or whatever the case may be, instead of going home and going, I just had sorry if this offends you, I've just had a shit day because I'm going to cry, because someone's got killed in a game I was controlling, right? Can you see the importance of coming off and over too early and not over too late and following the regulations? All right. The next one as well. Thank you. And from 1955, right? I'll summarise this. Lightning hit the ground. A lightning bolt speared into the oval, right? The player at the bowler's end, dead. 14 others were injured. Now, I want you, C4:20 p.m., I want you all to read the bottom paragraph. The strike hurled 14 others, please. All right. That last line, or the second last line, to the ground among dancing ripples of lurid blue flame. How long do you reckon the spectators and everyone else was picturing that for the rest? I can guarantee you it's in their mind for the rest of their life. They're never, ever going to forget that day, October 1, 1955. Are they? Right. Bearing in mind in 1955, they didn't have a 40-30 rule.
Or bomb.
Or bomb. Yeah. All right. You want to take over from here, please?
Yeah. So we've talked about the 40-30 rule. I think it's time now to talk about the 30-30 rule, and that's in cases where there's a strike bang within 30 seconds. Yeah. In that case, it is deemed that the storm is so close that all players and officials are to leave the field immediately. No covers. No pulling out stumps. Go. Don't look for our markers on the ground. We leave immediately. And the players leave immediately. And if they don't want to leave immediately, we instruct them to leave immediately. And we've got the procedure in place as to what happens if they don't. You'll get players begging you saying, oh, can we just quickly put the covers on? Can we just get the hessian out? Can we just get the hessian out? Can we get the small cover out? It's just over there. Can we just run it out? Because the rain's going to come and it's going to once the wicket's wet, we're done. Okay.
What Michael's just spoke about is basically a 30-30.
That's what we call the 30-30.
Yep. The 40-30, this is a Queensland Premier Cricket regulation. So once again, check your own association's regulation, right? In this particular one, the yellow height, this is a 40-30, right?
Yeah.
And it basically says, the yellow bit says, but may cover the wicket and make necessary preparations for the thunderstorm. However, the words before it says players and officials must leave the field immediately. You leave, but you can go out and put the covers back on.
Yeah, I think
what that is saying is comes to your question before, John. You don't go and put the covers back on. The players don't put the covers back on. However, if mum and dad sitting over on the hill want to put covers, we can't stop them. We can't stop them, all right? If the groundie wants to, go for your life. However, you, and I'm telling you now, none of you ever go out and help put the covers on, because if you do, you'll get my size 11 shoe up your backside.
It said that you can.
No. Yeah, but I understand what it says. But what I've just explained to you is that, to John's point, and I think Queensland Cricket will back me here, is that mum and dad want to go do it, go for your life, but you and the players don't. Yes?
But for clarity,
in the 40-30, when it's between 40 seconds and 30 seconds, players and officials may cover the wicket and make the necessary preparations before you leave the field. And once you've left the field, you leave the field. With 30-30, players and officials must leave the field and must not return for any reason. And what Jim's referring to there is that if a club has non-participants, so these are people who are not playing in this game, and for clarity, let's say you're at a ground where you're at a venue where there are 2 or 3 grounds. The players from a different ground are not permitted to come and put the covers on your ground either. But if parents or spectators or the groundskeeper or the canteen operator want to go and put the covers on, they are welcome to, but the duty of care sits with that club and with those individuals. You're responsible for players and officials on your game. Therefore, the playing conditions say they are not to enter the ground if we've got lightning followed or thunder followed by lightning or lightning followed by thunder in less than 30 seconds.
There's another article we got here, right? Something, and this is what I want you guys to consider and ladies to consider, all right? Yes, that's South Africa, by the way. South Africa schoolboy cricketers hit by lightning. Two schoolboys, I can't read, cricketers in Johannesburg remain in intensive care after being struck by lightning. In yellow, while pulling on the covers. There's 2 in hospital, 9 players from the school were hit during the incident with 5 needing hospital treatment while pulling the covers, right? And this is what we're trying to say. Remember, lightning doesn't care about the state of the game. It doesn't matter if the batting side wants 10 runs or 3 runs. It doesn't care if the fielding side needs 2 wickets, right? It doesn't care about the state of the game or if the pitch is covered or not. It's going to hit, right? You don't want to be out there when it hits. Sorry.
I'm going to ask this as a super question, but it's a question that needs to be asked.
Yeah.
So you take your players off in a 40-30 rule, and then there's a lightning thunder within 30 seconds. I assume that we're calling them off, even though they're out there covering the pitch. We've taken them off in a 40-30 rule.
Okay.
So we've gone back out to cover the pitch. Then, as an umpire, we observed lightning and thunder within 30 seconds. So we're then calling them off immediately, even though they're halfway through it.
Correct. What's the regulation say? The 30-30 now kicks in, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Right. And to be quite honest, what we're trying to do as well, we're trying to arm you with information, right? Because it wasn't until I started going through, and there's over 100 people killed in Australia every year from lightning. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And I think there's something like 24,000 people killed around the world with lightning. That's a fair whack, right? And I just don't want to be one of those 24,000. I don't want you to be one of the 24,000, and I don't want one of your players to be part of the 24,000, right? The umpire's duty of care always comes back to your duty of care, all right? You're the manager. You're in charge of the care. Your duty of care is to the lives of those involved in the game, which includes you, right? Not just the players, includes you, not the result of the match, right? And remember, the captains decide to win a game is nothing compared to families decide to have their family member come home. And so just imagine if the captain's got to one of you and said, come on, we only need 4 runs. We're both happy to stay out of here. And then something happens. How do you think their family is going to feel that night? Is it worth it? No. No. Any questions with that? Oh, I just saw one come out. Yeah.
Is there any provision where you can make teams aware of this rule? I teach in high school, so I can sort of relate to that sort of no means no sort of thing. Is there sort of provision where teams understand the gravity of it, so they're not just like mucking around?
All clubs are well aware.
Okay.
And like I say, we're trying to arm you with information that you can actually use.
Yeah.
Now, how many of you knew that 9 school kids in South Africa were hit by lightning while taking the covers out? Right. Now, if you want to take the covers out, go if you like, but I can give you an example of what happened right recently. Right. Now, a few tips. This is something that I did not know. Right. I did not know. Be aware that more than 50% of lightning deaths occur once the storm has passed. I would have thought, well, the storm's there, I'm going to get killed.
The eye of the storm.
Yeah, but no, 50%, right? Bearing in mind 50% obviously while the storm's there, but you know, I would just sort of thought the storm's over, or I'm good to go. But you're not, right?
That's why we don't get back on after 20 minutes when the sun's shining and the birds are singing.
If you find yourself out in the open when a storm hits, you need to think and act quickly. Finding shelter is strongly advised. It is, however, right? However, it's the right shelter, right?
Mm-hmm.
The right shelter, right? So the tree is not good shelter, right? How often do you see cows and horses sitting under a tree in a thunderstorm? You don't. They're always out in the paddock. Yeah. Why? Because they know that you don't go into a tree, right? Whereas a lot of people, especially youngsters, would go straight for a tree, right? Try to find shelter inside a building. Bit hard. If you've got a clubhouse, go straight to that, right? Under a bus shelter, like
Steel bus shelter works.
yeah, or inside a car. Avoid water and objects that could conduct electricity. What Elliot mentioned earlier, golf clubs. Don't hold a golf club. Don't hold an umbrella, right? If you, after the storm passes, don't put your umbrella up and go look at the pitch. Because guess what you're doing? Pick me, right? Boom.
Can you sit on the metal seat in the metal bus shelter?
Don't recommend it.
All right.
Metal bus shelter.
I've been splashed holding an umbrella by lightning.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, can we just back up one bit? Sorry, Matthew. Puddles or pools of water. Now, if we just had a thunderstorm, guess what's going to be on the field? Water. Puddles and pools of water, are they not? So don't go walking through pools of water, especially carrying an umbrella and playing golf. Right? If you're out in the open, unable to move to safe shelter, crouch down, feet together, your head tucked down towards your chest. That doesn't relate to all us old fellas, does it, John? Aim to make yourself as small as you can. Come and sit underneath my belly. You'll be safe. Right? Now, this slide, this is what to do. The main points are, if someone on the field gets hit, immediately call 000. That's a given. All right. Now, something I didn't know as well, because I would have thought if you got someone who's been hit by electricity and water, I don't touch, because I've been told electricity and water don't go. However, reading all the articles, it's safe to touch the victim, right? It's safe to touch the victim. I would get my partner to do it just in case and see what happens. But, right, you're allowed to move this person to a safer spot. If not breathing normally, start CPR. All right. To me, that's a given anyway. That's first aid. All right. Keep the person calm and reassure them that help is coming. And lightning still threats. Because guess what? If someone's just been hit with lightning, there's a good chance lightning's still around. All right. Now we're moving from the thunder to and lightning to the sun. All right. All right. Do we know the difference between lightning and the sun? Now, if anyone has joined my training sessions, that there's always something that I do on one of the slides. All right, let's see how good we are when I ask at the end. I'm giving you a bit of a clue here. At the end of the night. All right, you move too fast, Matthew. Go back, please. Do we know? All right. Do we know? No. That's not the question. Do we know is what the difference between not? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, thanks for spoiling it. Thanks for spoiling it, Jason. Right. The two front wall, lightning versus sun. One hits like a hammer. Guess which one that is? It's the lightning. I've put it on that side. Yeah. And the other eats like a rust. All right. Now, the difference, lightning and sun, the attack. For lightning, it is instant. It doesn't decide to hit you up 25 minutes later. If you're going to get hit, you're going to get hit. The sun, silent and cumulative, right? It's a silent killer at times. You don't hear it. The impact with lightning, cardiac arrest, burns, and it can immediate death, right? No coming back from it, right? That person who gets hit and killed is not packing his kit bag up that night, regardless whether there's an umpire or a player. Their kit pack bag remains unpacked and someone has to do it, right? Sun, cell mutation, mental fatigue, skin cancer, right? Mental fatigue. Now, as an umpire, the sun gets to you. It can drain your energy. It makes your focus as an umpire and decisions, it affects it, all right? The timeline, lightning, it happens, boom. Like you good chance you're dead before you even hear it, all right? The sun happens over decades, all right? It slowly creeps up on you. And with what I know in regard to cancers, a lot of it is because of what you did when you were younger, before the age of 25, right? The damage can be seen immediately with lightning. You see the damage, all right? The sun often isn't seen until the 80-stitch surgery. 80-stitch surgery will come into play down in further slides, all right? How can we protect ourselves and the players? Sunscreen, SPF 50 plus, all right? I've got the plus in the wrong sign there, another one, all right? However, you've got to use 50 plus, all right? Sunglasses. How many people use sunglasses, by the way? Right. I never, for the first 7 or 8 years, I never wore sunglasses. I hated it, all right? Until I went and saw my optometrist one day. And as soon as I walked out, I bought a pair of sunglasses because it had already done damage to my eyes. A wide brim hat. Why is a wide brim hat important compared to the caps? Yeah, that's a lot of damage gets done here, right? So if you're going to wear a cap, guess what? You use a lot of sunscreen, don't you? Drink fluids at the right time. Right. Drinking fluids is before you start. It should be every 20 minutes or so. And don't be afraid, because guess what? When you're umpiring and there's a wicket, drinks get run out. Don't be afraid to say to the players, can you run us out our drinks as well, please? Because guess what? We get thirsty. We get thirsty. And don't be afraid to throw in extra drinks breaks. When I haven't umpired for a long time, however, on hot days, I've got 2 skips, and I say, hey, my partner and I would say, Skips, it's hot today, you want an extra drink break? And they go, yes. And I go, good answer, because I was going to take one anyway. I really don't care about you. I want to make sure I get through the day. Because one of the captains is usually going to sit off. One of the captains can go out and get drinks run out. Us 2 umpires are out there the whole day. So we're getting the sun on us more so than what they are. Right? So it's important from where I come from, you stay hydrated. How does the sun hurt us? Short-term effects, sunburn, all right? How many of you have ever gone home like that? That's the picture on there. That usually will happen, I can tell you now, that usually happens on a windy day as well, right? It's amazing how often you got a hot day and a bit of wind, that's how you go home. Doesn't matter how much cream you put on, you go, I'll put cream on, right? Why do I look like that, all right? So you get sunburn, what we do. Photosensitivity, I'm proud I can say that word. I don't know what that means. There's obviously some medications that react to the sun, right? And it will affect your body. And the third one is Heat-related illnesses, excessive sun exposure, especially with high temperatures, can contribute to heat exhaustion or heat stroke. Let's talk about heat stroke. Out of all that, I want to talk about heat stroke, please. All right. What are the symptoms and how can we stop it? Some of the symptoms are dizziness, throbbing headache, cramps, nausea, and vomiting, seizures. That's not just for the players, by the way. Like I've had a couple of partners who actually we had to take off because they were suffering from the heat. Right? I think can I ask you a question, John? Like on hot days, is it a struggle for you if you're umpiring by yourself near the end of the day? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yeah, thank you, John. Yeah. Yeah. It would be because of father time catches up with it. So it's good at 10 o'clock in the morning, but come 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4 o'clock, I'm struggling like hell, right? Because the sun's getting to me. I just want to get off. How can we stop it? I think there's another part to this question, this slide. Oh, okay, there is. All right. All right. So, question, can we call the game off till it cools down? That's not a trick question, by the way. Can we? If it's extremely hot, we take you off for rain because it's dangerous, right? Yet I watch $1 million footballers get tackled in rain. It's like in rugby league don't get called off. However, we take them off because it's dangerous. Why doesn't it apply when the opposite way as well, when it gets extremely hot? Why can't we take them off for a while? Next slide, thanks, Matthew, if we can. Are we playing for sheep stations? Are we? Some of over the years, the players think they're playing for sheep stations. I want to go out and have a look at this sheep station because I'm sure it's good, the way they carry on. Hanscom loses 4.5 kilos during knock for Australia. Look at it. Is that, to me, is that dangerous or for a hit? Huh? But why do our officials up there allow that to happen? Ashes could have been stopped for heat. MCC. Now, if you can just read out the bottom section, the top section for me, Michael, because I can't read it.
Cricket lawmakers insist umpires could have stopped the fifth Ashes test for extreme heat if they deemed it dangerous. Say it would have been a PR disaster.
So from what I see there, it's PR disaster. We don't care about the health and safety of our players. It's more about what it looks like, right? What about your game? I reckon at some of your games you'd struggle to have 3 and a dog watching. And we're not playing for sheep stations. We're not playing for test matches. We're not playing in front of 50,000 people, all right? We're umpiring local cricket, right? We're playing local cricket. So what about your game, right? Give it thought. Give it thought because of, next one, thanks, Matthew. Do we want this to happen on our watch? South Australian cricketer Bernard Khan collapses and dies during match played in extreme heat. Have a look at the date, 17th of March 2025, not even a year ago.
But the clarity in Adelaide, I believe that day it was 42 degrees.
Yeah.
So just put some context around what extreme heat's considered to be.
And I believe, sorry, no, Ben, I will come to you, right? If I remember properly, last year Queensland Cricket called a round off here because of the heat. No?
Cyclone. The temperature is.
Oh, the cyclone. Okay. Yeah, we play in extreme heat here. But just I know that if it becomes extreme heat, Queensland Cricket would kick in. Sydney last weekend was called off because of the heat. It was day one of a 2-day match. It's now day one next week. It's 1 day game.
I think that was 42 degrees.
Yeah. All right.
Even there was a day in the inclusion championship.
Yeah.
just on the temperature thing, it makes a big difference where you are too. Like I lived in Ipswich
Oh,
and I had a thermometer went up to 50 degrees. It was a 37-degree day in Ipswich and I took that out in the sun. It went straight past the 50 and just it didn't go any further. So I don't know how hot it was out in that sun in my backyard. So the 37-degree day is over 50.
Ben? Sorry.
I know the scope personally.
Oh,
Can we get the microphone around?
All right. Pop on the mic. Yeah, sorry about this. Naveen, only apologies, okay?
Sorry. So I was just saying, I know this guy personally. The policy in Adelaide, in Saka, the rules were 42 degrees. I believe after this incident, they have brought it down to 40 degrees. So 40 degrees, they call it off. So it's a predicted weather. It's not on the day. So if it's showing 38, they will go ahead.
Yeah. And like,
I've been in a situation where a player died during a match I was playing at Victoria Park when there was a grounds there right next to the hospital. It was heat related, but he ended up having an aneurysm. And it wasn't pretty.
so let's look at the heading. Do we want this to happen on our watch? If it's hot, if you're struggling and you see the players struggling, I don't, I'd rather you go off and sit and cool down or get nice and refreshed for a while, take an early tea or whatever the case may be, push, because if we lose time because of rain, guess what we can do? Mate, use a little bit of common sense. Next one, please, Matthew. All right. How does the sun hurt us? Long-term effects, premature aging. I'm only actually 36 years old. This is what the sun's done to me. Eye damage. I mentioned this before because of, 30 years ago, I had eye damage. And overexposure can suppress the immune system. Okay. Next one, please, Matthew. How does the sun hurt a skin cancer? All right. Melanomas, all right. Non-melanoma skin cancers. Anyone, there's every chance in the world you either know someone who's had skin cancers, or if you don't, you will know someone who's had skin cancers. All right. Next one, please, Matthew. All right. Do you know Michael Clark, former England coach Andy Flower, and former England spinner John Embry have all been treated for skin cancer, right? It doesn't matter whether you're a local cricketer, the captain of your country, it will hit you, all right? And former Australia cricket captain and commentator Richie Benaud was being treated for skin cancer before his death in April, right? Now, the difference is Richie Benaud played back in the 50s and 60s, right? No one back in the 50s and 60s put sunscreen on or anything like that. I can guarantee you Michael Clark, who played with Andrew Simons and the boys, they were always putting the sunscreen on. But it still hits you, all right? Normie McNamara, why I put fewer discretion advised, all right? Because on the slides coming up, some of it will be a little bit daunting. So I just want to let you know that one of the slides coming up is not a good look. Now, Normie McNamara is one of our umpires. Not a bad bloke considering he's from New South Wales. He's currently up in Hervey Bay. He's now 50, just under 54-year-old, right? Just prior to Christmas, probably about 4 months ago, right? Next one, please. Thank you. All right. Now, about 12 months ago, Normie started with a small pimple on his face, right? And it's, if you can see it, it's just underneath his, whatever that is called, under his eye, all right? And he said it felt like a pimple and it just getting bigger and bigger. And it was only a 5 mil by 5 mil we're talking about, all right? Then one day it decided to grow. Now, please just note the next slide is not a bit iffy, all right? It went from that to that. A 5 mil by 5 mil cancer. When the small pimple turned into this. Not the best, is it? Let's not look at that slide for too much longer, please, Matthew. Thankfully, they got it in time, All right. After surgery and more than 80 stitches, this was when I related about the 80 stitch. All right. Norm is healing well. Okay. The one on the left was about 4 weeks ago. The one on the right is what it is now. Right. Normie was one that always put on sunscreen. Right. Yeah. So all of, the next one, please, Matthew. Because so remember, put on your umpire's armour. Slip, slop, slap. All right. Always wear a long sleeve shirt. Slap on your SP50 sunscreen and reapply it every 2 hours or it breaks. Slap on your wide brim hat. Protect yourselves, please. Stay hydrated. Ensure you have plenty of drink breaks, right? If the players are thirsty, I guarantee you you're thirstier, right? If you're thirsty, it already affects your decision-making process, all right? So just get plenty of fluids in you, please, please, please. And don't be a norm, right? Don't be a norm. And what I mean by that is that, guess what? Get your skin regularly checked. Now, Normie got his skin checked every 12 months, right? That pimple appeared 3 months after he got his yearly checkup. And that went from that to that before the next 12 months. Right. Next one, thank you, Matthew. Oh, have good success. Thank you all. Now, can I just reiterate, I want you to, your safety is all I care about. The player's safety is all I care about. And this is what you should care about, right? Because would any of your wives or girlfriends or like to get a phone call saying, you know, I was out, your partner was out putting covers on? It's not worth it. It's not worth it, okay? Any questions, please?
30-30. What's the officials' capacity? Like players, obviously.
Us.
I mean, coaches obviously can't go out. Where does it stop? Like, does that include scorers as well?
Scorers are officials and they're participants in the game.
So scorers are included?
Participants, so people who are participating in the game.
Matthew mentioned before, it can be canteen staff, they can go out.
Yeah,
all right. It can be a groundsman, it can go out. What can't happen is that if you're at the Valleys here in Brisbane, you've got 3 grounds. The second ground players can't go and put out the ground there.
No.
All right. Yeah. All the mums and dads can, right? All the bowlers can, right? When I say bowlers, the lawn bowlers. Right? But no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just move on. Thanks, Matthew. Because I know we're coming out the final stage. Remember, be brave enough to be unpopular to keep people and yourself safe. Right? We are playing for sheep stations. Slip, slop, slap. Get regular skin checks. Don't say it will be okay, which is our area, John. You know, guys, you know, it's okay. I don't have to worry about it. It'll be fine, right? Safety first attitude. Risk, risk, and risk. The 3 things we look at: risk, risk, and risk. Even to the rope around the field or the fence, sprinkler heads, all that. That is risk. You're always checking for risk, right? Remember, we are human, and we will make people upset from time to time. I used to be married, and I know I always upset at my wife, right? That's hence the reason why I went to cricket. But when you're playing cricket, if you come off with 3 runs to go, guess what? Batting side's annoyed, and the fielding side's extremely happy, right? Just call it how it is. You took some of my wording out. And by Torpey talk, all right? We will never please them all. Remember, we are human, all right? And we will make people upset from time to time, all right? And I wrote, whoopee-doo. Whoopee-doo, we will never please them all, right? Which is true, right? And the most important thing, what I always say, let's have fun, Right, let's have fun. Right. How we have fun? Follow our rules and regulations, laws, right? Make sure we play it nice and happy. If you're going to upset people, we care. I don't care. All right. Like in this date, Wednesday, gee, that's come around. 4th of February's come around quick. Can we push that back? Who wants to push that week back? Yeah, thanks a lot. 4th of February is the next training run. And contact us. Guys and girls, please remember, let's stay safe, right? Come off an over too early than an over too late. I'm finished.
No, perfect. That's 8 o'clock on the dot.
I knew that would be. I told you you could have kept Whoopi doing. All right, guys, that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone online. Appreciate your time. Good luck for the rest of the season. Good luck until what?
Oh, what's the next topic?
Oh, that Earth, Wind and Water. That one. Yeah. Earth, Wind and Water. Now that one's more ground, weather and light.
Yeah.
And we'll dig into what is wet, field, and all this type of stuff. So,
Nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Have a great night.